friends, today we will see about get process activity and also we'll see about kill process. So let me tell you when we have to use get process. Let's say on my system, I want to close specific applications, right? That's a notepad or Excel or Word document or Google Chrome, right? Any of the running application I would like to close. So how do you first of all get that process name and then close it? So this is the process. So get process is one of the default activity, right? It's one of the core activity of UiPath Studio. If you place your mouse over here, you can see that UiPath system.activities. So this is one of the core activity. All right. So how do you utilize this? So let me show you. If I open Task Manager, so currently whatever applications are running over here, so all the names, process names are shown on this one. But how do you get that onto UiPath and kill the process or close that application, things like that, right? So let's do that. So the get process, when you drag and drop, right, on the property panel you have something called output. So here let me create a variable. So Control K, and let's say I'm saying running process. Running P is the variable I'm creating. All right, so this will contain all the running process. Now if you come to variable, let me delete this with the previous created variables. Okay, so running P, if you see, it has got system.collection.object. So this is a variable type. Okay, now let's say I want to see that in a message box. So what I will do, so how do you utilize that variable in a message box to see what are the processes currently running? So all I will do is I'll just say running P. Okay, that variable I'm just utilizing. So if I run it now, let's see what are the processes which is coming. Okay, so you can see that it has shown all the different processes, but again, I cannot see in detail as to what they are, isn't it? I cannot see that. So how do you literally do it is using a for each loop. So message box will not work, so we will use a for each loop. Okay, because it will be having a stack of data or array of processes, and message box is something will not be able to process all that process names, so I'll be using for each. So here all I have to do is I will just utilize that variable. Okay, so the variable is running P, right? So this is the variable I've created. So now all this variable data would get onto item, and one by one we can see it. So let me drag a message box now. Okay, so what I will do here is I'm going to say item dot. Now you can see that there is, I'm not able to use that dot option. So what I have to do, there is something called type argument in for each loop, right? The type argument is object, so I have to make it to a process kind of a argument. So what I will do here, I will just type process. Okay, and once you type it under system dot diagnostics, this is the process that you have to select. So once you select that, okay, now if you put a dot right here, you can see that you get the process name. Okay, this is how you get the process name. So that kind of a variable you have to utilize. All right, so let's see that. Let me just run it and we will see what are the processes coming. Okay, so you can see that Chrome native messaging is one of the processes which is running. There's something else is running, presentation. Okay, there's so many processes running actually, right? You have a studio, command prompt. So how come all this process I could not see? So actually they are there in the task manager. Okay, if you go to process tab here, now you can see there are n number of different processes which are available. Okay, so all this will come one by one. Okay, so all these are being shown. So let me, all these are coming one by one. So let me stop it now. Now I'm not interested about all the processes. Okay, so let me do one thing. If I open a notepad, Okay, and my job is to close the notepad. Okay, so how do I do it? So let me minimize this for the moment. So instead of a message box, I'll delete it, and I'm going to utilize a if activity. Now in the if activity, I will say item dot process name. Okay, process name equals to, in double quotes, just say notepad. Okay, so now if it is notepad, if the activity name is notepad, then I want to kill it. So for that, there is a process called kill process. Okay, so now what would happen? The kill will is going to kill it. That will kill the notepad. But again, for the kill process, you have to define the process name. So click here and type item dot process name. So whatever the process name it's going to capture as per the condition. So in our case, it will be notepad, right? Only then it will come to here. So the notepad will automatically get killed. So I'm clicking on OK. Now let's run it. So you can see that I have opened one notepad on my taskbar. Let me open one more. Okay, so I have opened and I'm writing something over here, and the other one is black. Okay, the other one is black. These are the two notepad which are currently open on my system. Let me run it. So you will see both the notepads from the taskbar will get closed. You can see that it got closed. So this is about the kill process, which will not wait for anything. It will just terminate the entire process. Okay, now there is another such activity called close application. Okay, now I'll show you the difference. So kill process has closed the entire application. Now in case I'm using close application activity here, and I'll indicate the notepad. Okay, so I'm opening the notepad. So last time I opened two notepads and both of them got closed. So now I have indicated the notepad. Okay, so now it should close the application, right? So I'll show you the difference what is happening. Let me open another notepad and I'm going to write something. Okay, so now there are two notepads which are open. Now if I run it, you will see what is the difference. Okay, so it started executing. So now what happened? Out of the, so if you go here, it's asking me to, you know, do you want to save the changes? So it's not exactly closing because there is some data over here. Okay, so if I say cancel, okay, so it's not exactly closing the applications, isn't it? Because something that need to be saved or that require a user input. So that is where we'll be directly using a kill process. Okay, so once I clicked on cancel, now the execution got completed and both the notepads got closed. Just that it will wait for the user interaction. So once you select save or cancel and something, that's where it is going to act. You wait for 30 seconds. That's the default time. Okay, so this is what all about the get process activity. You understood how to utilize that. All you have to do is create a variable, and control can create a variable. It will automatically take the variable type. Okay, and post that I used a for each loop. Use that variable, and one by one the item will contain all the processes that are running. And then I used a if condition, and here I said item dot process name equals to notepad. Okay, and then I have shown you two different demo. One is the kill process, right? One is the kill one and the other one is close application. So both the activities I have shown. This is how you can utilize. So thank you for watching, guys. Please do like and comment and let me know any other activities that you would like to learn where you have difficulties. Thank you very much. You have a wonderful day.